Hi, I'm Crystal. Let's catch up on some journaling. I'm going to start out with Shuffle, Cut, Create. This is hosted by Martha Makes Art. It's a monthly series. There's a prompt on the 25th. She draws randomly from a deck of cards, and this month's prompt was chicken treat. So I did a little colored pencil drawing, and then I also did a little bit of collaging. And for my human chicken treat, I used the chicken biscuit, which is a Nabisco snack cracker that I used to eat, years ago. Delicious. And then Biljack, which is a treat for dogs. It's made with chicken liver, and dogs just think it is delicious. I would not sign on for that, but I do love chicken biscuit crackers. I have not had one in years and years and years. But this is such a fun series, and it's always an interesting prompt. So please check that out. Next is Artisan Journal Prompt 2025. This is hosted by Kiki at Kiki and Sean and Lori June at Sarcastically 60-something. There's a weekly prompt on Sunday and periodic bonus prompts. So I've got quite a few to catch up on. So we're going to start with, let's see, sketch what's in front of you. I think I'd not done that one. So this is my main work surface, and you can see I've got my sketchbook out. I've got my coffee cup, got my laptop riser and my paperweights and whatnot. That's what it looks like in real life. So I just sketched what was sitting in front of me there on the desk and did a little watercolor tinting. So next we had cat and sun. So this is my mother's cat, Simba, sitting in the sun with a few little dust motes around him. And that is watercolor and pencil again. I've really been trying to work on my sketching and watercoloring skills this summer. So the next prompt was ice cream. So this is ice cream sitting on my kitchen counter, and it's a H-E-B store brand, Higher Harvest non-dairy ice cream. And I don't think I did a good job of representing the kitchen counter and backsplash in this picture. It's actually marble tile, and I didn't really capture the shininess of it. So the backdrop looks like wood, but it's actually brown marble tile. Now, I don't know that that's what I would have chosen out of everything in the world, but we got that tile for free. You can't argue with free. So next, the Artisan Journal prompt was mason jar. So there is my mason jar. And that is a jam jar. That was a gift from my sister-in-law. There's the actual jar. I did use a little artistic license to put some color on the label. But you can see my little splotches of jam, and I used some metallic watercolor on the lid for the metal. And I thought that turned out really pretty well. Now we have a bonus prompt, which was Flower Fairy. And I don't know why my mind went to baking flour instead of botanical flowers, but there's my flower fairy. I cut her out of Southern Living, and her wings are giant chocolate chip cookies. And I don't know, flower fairy makes me think about Grandma in the kitchen baking. So here's Grandma in the kitchen baking and bringing her magical baking creations. And I just thought that she was a lovely person. It was a lovely story. So next, the Kiki's prompt was ocean, and the bonus prompt was a coloring page. So I did both. So my coloring page, I've linked to the place where I downloaded this coloring page. And then I just tried to recreate it, some with pencil and watercolor. I think I would have done a better job with the recreation if I had outlined my my little plants there, but I liked it, and I did the bubbles with some spatter of metallic watercolor. So that was a fun prompt, a very cool and refreshing project, and a very hot summer's day. Really enjoyed that. So the fish, most of the fish I see are gray, so that's why most of the fish I colored in silver and gray. So next I wanted to catch up on my summer adventure journal. I've had a lot of work and chores scheduled this summer, so I'm trying to eke out some summer fun. So I'm trying to document everything this summer. So I started out with a short road trip to take my mother to meet my sister and brother-in-law for lunch. We went to Madisonville, which is the home of Monterey mushrooms. If you're buying a Monterey mushroom product in the central part of the country, it's coming from Madisonville. So then on the trip, we stopped at the giant statue of Sam Houston. This is just on the side of the road, but you can get out and take a selfie if you want. My next adventure was going to Creating Keepsake Scrapbook Convention in, well, it says Houston. It was actually in Conroe. But I had a lot of fun doing that. And I used my Sally Scrapbooking paperkin to decorate this journal page. That was a blast from the past. I haven't seen paperkins around in forever. So next, my mother had some medical stuff, and so while I was sitting around in waiting rooms with her, I read a book. I'd been hearing a lot about this one, Legends and Lattes. So I read it, and I have to say that I thought it was only okay. I thought it was a little, I don't know, a little simplistic, but it was okay. My next adventure was giving up Diet Coke, so I made a little pocket out of my iced tea box and a little tag out of a Diet Coke label, but I've switched over entirely to iced tea. And then my mother-in-law has had some eye surgery this summer, and as a result of the eye surgery, she needs eye drops a zillion times a day. And my husband has had some travel this summer, and so I've been on mother-in-law duty for this, and it's just constant. So a little bit of an adventure there. Then I journaled a little bit about my friend Patty. She was a couple years behind me in school, and she developed frontotemporal dementia. And so over the last year, she's gone from living independently and managing her own life to around Memorial Day, her adult son put her in memory care. So that has been an adventure, but not in a good way. But I am talking to her multiple times per week on the phone, and I hope to get up there to see her soon. So next, I documented happy hours. We get together with some friends all the time for happy hour, and I just did a video about using a card for that layout. And while I've been killing time between the eye drop sessions, I've been watching the new show Murderbot. It's on Apple Plus. And I really loved these books by Martha Wells. Highly recommend them if you enjoy science fiction at all. The TV series has been pretty good. And then I also had a theme night where I had some Italian food and watched Roman Holiday. So I believe that is streaming on Pluto, if you've got that streaming service. And just a delightful movie. Then we move into July. My mother wrote a letter to Heloise, and Heloise published it. So I kept that column. We celebrated the 4th of July inside in the air conditioning, but always fun to watch the fireworks. In my decluttering journey, I got rid of e-waste. AT&T phone stores are taking lithium battery items, and we also cleared out all the eyeglasses, which you can drop off at any Walmart optical shop for the Lions Club. And then I went to the Menil Museum. They had a special exhibit of Rene Magritte paintings. So I found some internet reproductions of those paintings, and I enjoyed going to see that exhibit. Got together with an old coworker for lunch. Also, a friend of mine has had some travel this summer, and I did a bunch of cat sitting. So there's a card from her about the cats. Those cats need medication twice a day. So that has also been an adventure, because cats do not like taking medication. And then it was time for another short road trip to Madisonville. I got this cute sticker. I think it's meant for water bottles, so I'm not counting it against my desire not to buy craft supplies. But we went up to Madisonville again to meet my sister and brother-in-law for lunch, and I just used a little junky background there to mimic the orange and green of my stickers. And then I took my mother to update her legal documents. So we updated her will and her power of attorney. And then afterward, we went out for a kolache to Donut Heaven. And I got this cute bag that says, "Life is better with donuts." You cannot argue with that, can you? And I used some washi tape inspired by Jazzy over at Crafty Girl Chronicles. I enjoy her planning series. She always uses a lot of washi tape. So I tried to mimic her. I don't know that I achieve the same level of success. Her layouts are always so cute. But anyway, that gets me caught up on all my journaling for the summer, and I feel like I'm in a good place, and I thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day.